Ready, call to order Town Freedom Special Scheduled Meeting for May 15th, 2019 at 6:06.
So I'm gonna watch on my phone.
Cindy, would you like to call roll?
Yes, Bracken,
Here.
Galindo.
Here.
We'll need to state a quorum until he is sworn in. So if I could have a motion for a quorum.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Bracken,
Yes.
Galindo.
Yes.
Quorum is stated.
All right, moving right along to line item number 3, new board member introduction. Randy Rhodes, that would be you, sir. Congratulations. We will get you signed in with the oath of office and the loyalty oath.
Thank you.
And then we'll give you your packet of
Many things to
stuff.
do,
Yes,
say, right, and what not to say.
that's right. If you don't mind, you will read both of these and sign and insert your name where needed. I think it's only on the oath of office you have to put your name.
The clerk doesn't have to administer the oath.
I witness it and I attest it with my seal.
Go right ahead, Randy.
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the laws of the United States of America and the Constitution and the laws of the state of Oklahoma, and that I will faithfully discharge, according to the best of my ability, the duties of my office or employment during such time that I am trustee of the board for the town of Freedom. I say my name.
And if it's like theirs, I can't read it later, so it's okay.
Okay. I, Randy Rhodes, do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma, and that I will not knowingly receive, directly or indirectly, any money or other valuable thing for the performance or non-performance of any act or duty pertaining to my office, other than the compensation allowed by law. I further swear that I will faithfully discharge my duties as trustee on the board for the town of Freedom to the best of my ability.
Stamp of approval.
Thank you, sir. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Let me give you.
Congratulations, welcome.
Thank you.
Here is the
Back in.
New Municipal Officials Institute
Long drive.
agenda and days. Like I said, check your calendars and let them know.
I'll do that.
And then I'll also give you your certificate of election.
Cool. Everyone will get one of those. All right, cool. Congratulations, Mr. Rhodes. All right, line item number, as soon as the clerk gets done
Sorry, thank you.
notarizing everything.
I'm good.
Line item number 4, reorganization of board.
Anytime you have a new member join, you have the opportunity to reorganize, or someone can make a motion to retain members as is. So, as of right now, Mr. Shad Bracken is the mayor, and trustees for both Rolando and Terry filling that spot would just be a trustee. If you think someone else needs to be mayor, now is the time.
God, I should have thought about that. That's tempting.
Well, I make a motion to retain as is.
You sure you don't want your name on every
Yeah.
thing that
Well,
goes
all
out
the
guy anyway.
Yeah, I got, what they call it, Shanghai, the bushwhacked.
Can I get a second on that?
I'll second that motion.
Bracken. Your
Yes.
vote. Belinda.
Yes.
Rose. I was like,
Yes.
I'm blank, sorry. Alright.
Line item number 5, project progress / review for board members.
Thought this would be a good opportunity to bring our new board member up to date on what we're working on and where we're at.
I would like that.
Oh gosh. Alphabetically.
Well, I can just say one thing that, it's one of the items is on the agenda, it's the destruction of, recently we adopted a retention and destruction policy for past records. And it all went by statutes from the Oklahoma State municipal government, and I've been going through boxes one at a time, coming down we have boxes all up in our loft that I've been going through. And so we will be going through each month, have probably a listing of destruction items here in the next several months until we get things gone through, because we've had some misplaced documents that we have found.
Is there any litigation anywhere against the city or any of these documents or anything that we know?
No, I say everything that everything that goes through destruction, like I say, goes through is per the policy.
Okay.
That's per the Oklahoma statutes. So it's all legal and itemized. That's why it's like on here it says exactly what it is. And most things are a 5-year retention on like your POs and some of your stuff like that. And then your insurance coverages, some of it's 7 to 10. So I mean, you'll see different dates and different things. So, but everything, whenever I bring it to the board for approval for destruction, it's itemized out for you.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of what, I may have to send you an email of everything in detail that we've kind of got going on.
Another thing is we just signed a contract for 3 years with the, is it utility maintenance, the sewer guys, is that their name? Utility maintenance services, and whenever the next 3 years, they have a section of the town that they will go through and clean out our main sewer lines. And we've had them, I found, since the 90s and 2000s back there, and some of the stuff I've been going through and things like that, they've been doing that service for us. So we just re-signed up for a new 3-year contract for that.
I mean, most of the things that we deal with, of course, are municipality-wise or you know, infrastructure related and stuff. There's kind of always been an agreement with the county shed being right here and Freedom being so small that they've been kind of tasked with helping us with our street maintenance and that kind of thing. So we're fortunate for that. Our gas line is probably 90% complete, I would say. In town, it's probably 99% complete. We started that project 7 years ago, or longer, 10 years ago maybe altogether, to replace the entire gas line system with poly in town. The sewers, we've put them back on a maintenance program and inspection program to make sure that they stay good. We just received a grant to put all new meters in our water system, all the residential and business meters. Next year we're going to push for a grant to try to have that same telemetry added to our gas meters, so that kind of frees our maintenance department up, and it less liability of people out in the field and down on their knees and upside down in meter holes and all that stuff, and for accuracy, because I'm sure that with the old tumbler style meters, we're going to find with the new electric one, there's a big variance there. Pioneer's putting a new LTE cell tower site in the park to provide cell coverage in town, or better cell coverage, and it will probably only be for Pioneer and Verizon customers. I don't know if it pushes on to full LTE or 5G in the future, if AT&T will have rights on there or not, but it's a start. We had pretty big plans for our park and for our Main Street, and to put some walking trails and stuff in between federal and state DOT and the Parks Department. Unfortunately, about the time we were ready to start all those programs, our state went broke. So even though federal DOT is still on board, the state has to initiate it, and we haven't been able to get a lot of that jump started again. A lot of what we do is done with I guess as far as our larger projects are probably the REAP grant, which comes from OEDA, Oklahoma Economic Development Authority. Our other grant that we get every year is
AEC Roundup, we utilize them. And then if there's anything, a lot of times there'll be different little ones come through that are just, they're not every year, it's kind of sporadic. If some part of the government has money that they need to get rid of, they'll let you know.
Pretty well our water infrastructure is in pretty decent shape. There's a meter in front of the school that we need to have moved, and there's an overflow meter I'd like to see installed to keep us from ever overpressurizing our system again, because we're fed from rural water, and if they have a valve failure or something on their end, I think the tank over at Hughes is about 500 feet higher than what we are, so it puts a lot of pressure on everybody in town. I don't know, there's lots of little things. We've been trying forever to get some playground equipment in the park, but that seems like a pretty flaky industry to deal with from what we've encountered. But I don't know as far as what else we got on the table. We got a whole board full of stuff. Our ball field, we were going to look at doing something with that, and then the interest as far as any ball teams that were wanting to use it, they kind of backed out or didn't get a team put together or whatever, so we didn't push real hard to get all that fixed up. But obviously between us and the county, if somebody came to us and wanted to get it back up at this snuff where we're doing full-time games and stuff, we certainly do that. There's a lot of regulation with us as far as the gas utility. Probably not a whole lot different than what you deal out there with the Office of Mining Safety or whatever. But that and our water, there's always certifications and testing and compliance and record keeping and all kinds of stuff that go along with that, which keeps a small office very busy to stay on top of all that. There is one project I'd like to see us do here pretty soon. We need to get some pole banners up. I think coming into 4th of July and summer and all that. We had some and they got kind of wind torn and we ended up taking them down. I don't know, that's about it. There's a lot more that I'm probably forgetting, but that's kind of the quick synopsis. But if field you're in, you'll be fairly familiar with it, a lot of what we do, and you can ask Stuart, it's maintenance and maintenance and more maintenance. If I left out any exciting things. I'm not covering it. Any questions?
I don't have any questions, but I would like an email though that kind of puts everything together and maybe we look at it and I'll put some charts together, some Gantt charts or something, kind of put that in out in the eye whenever we need to talk about them. We'll have them there and we'll get to show progress and then I think that'd be good.
Yeah, definitely. I'll get that put together for you. I've got a list somewhere. But we can certainly do that. That'd be a good idea to try. Stuart, do you have any irons that we have in the fire right now, I guess, besides our meter project?
That's about it. I mean, we had scheduled, they were going to schedule for this week, but they never called. They wanted to schedule for last week, but I got sick, and so let's do it on Monday, and then they never called. I just got busy somewhere else. I did want to ask that you do know that these people are supposedly qualified to polyfuse our gas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If we could maybe get a hold of them and have them send their qualifications, because we gotta have it on hand, and we might use them in an emergency. I mean, I don't see any emergency now, but right now we gotta call Harrison, and you know how far he's gonna drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just asked him to send all his.
Yeah, it would be good to have their certifications on
Well,
file.
I have to have it
Yeah.
before they can even touch the
Right.
gas lines.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's another one. If we need gas line work done, you can't call any of the people that cross country 24-inch pipeline, then you have to call somebody that has special.
All their
Municipal.
certifications and like their packet.
you gotta be up to date and
Yeah.
all that other stuff. All the time.
Yeah, I would go ahead and just get it all on hand and just let them know that they are on our
Well,
radar and
even
our
if-
emergency list.
Well, even the water project, they've gotta have.
Yeah, have their DEQs and all
Yeah,
their
so, but we gotta have that on
liabilities and
hand
all
too.
that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Stuart. I guess that's it for line item number 5. Line item number 6, discussion and action on past meeting minutes from April 10th. Training meeting.
Did you read them?
I did. Did you have a chance to go over them? Well, I make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Bracken? Your vote, please. Bracken.
Yes.
Linda.
Yes.
Rhodes.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Line item number 7, discussion action on POs for the general fire and ambulance fund.
And Randy, I'll kind of explain a lot of like our utilities and stuff. I do blanket POs, and then whenever I use them up, then throughout the year, then I have it, I'll amend it for another section of time.
Okay.
So like our phone, and our electric and all that. That's why it's not on there. It's on a blanket,
Okay.
just in case. And you'll see like at the end of June's meeting is when I'll do the big blanket for like the next year for payroll and like the start of the next year for all of those.
I'll let you keep writing the POs. I do enough.
That's why I try to do blankets on most of what I can, so that it's That's a little easier.
Make a motion to approve whenever the board gets done reading POs.
I will second.
Bracken,
Yes.
Belinda,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
You're looking at my favorite there, where we always have to pay taxes to the state. Isn't that cute? Alright, number 8, discussion and action on miscellaneous electrical work that needs to be done at the office and lift station generator from Northwest Electric.
here is the quotes from Scott.
Oh, well, you know, we got a few days back.
I'm guessing one of these is the same bid, but with the lights, all the lines.
Yes.
This was just a generator.
As far as I know. Yeah.
Would you like a better seat?
No, I'm okay. Thank you.
Can we hear anything from our city attorney?
I have, no, she hasn't forwarded anything to me from him. Probably have to, every once in a while you gotta remind him that he's gotten an email from us.
Our sewer system runs on a lift station that takes everything from town into the lagoons. And we have what we later found out was a disreputable electrical contractor that set the wrong generator. So now our dilemma is find a market for an oddball generator that's only ran a third of an hour and see if we can replace it, or have the utility company install 3 new transformers that would take it to that 208 volt.
It will run on what it is now. The problem is that there's certain things that can go wrong in the switch panel, but the main thing is that by running it as it is, we avoid the warranty on it. That's the big thing about
The warranty on the
generator.
generator.
if it went down, but there's no, they don't know for how long and what damage it will do to the switchovers. Little computer chips inside the switch panel.
That'd be my concern, because the starters or the contactors are for 240, the motors are at 208, 240. I would think every time you went
On the
to,
lift pumps,
on
they're
the lift.
208.
Yeah,
the lift pump is a 208, 240 motor,
Okay.
and they've always been wired and ran off of 240. And for whatever reason, that contractor said a 208 generator.
Okay, I got you. So this is actually for changing
The 3 transformers,
3 transformers.
because they're saying, I guess they would have to change all 3
Mm-hmm.
legs.
What would be the difference in replacing the generator?
Generator's about 14,000.
Yeah, 14, 15.
About that much for the
I mean, it's all,
transformers, isn't it?
About 6 to 7.
Oh,
It's quite a bit more. Have we looked into getting this generator reworked to match the voltage we need?
We talked to him about that, and he said it's not.
Generac
From
you won't do that,
Okay.
and yeah, it's I guess it's a purpose-built generator, supposedly, and I don't know if the electrician said that it couldn't be rewired, but he definitely said if we did anything to alter it, that would whatever warranty there was with the generator.
I think we should at least reach out to the manufacturer and see if they can't, it'd be like a refurbished unit, they could rebuild it into the right voltage that we need before we make a decision.
This particular electrician is a certified Generac technician, so he's pretty knowledgeable about what you can and can't do with this generator.
He did mention that, but I don't think that was actually talked though about.
It would, I think they could do it, but I think the way he talked, it'd be cost prohibitive where it would almost be a wash with, now he hasn't seen this price yet, but with swapping the generator out, and I don't know what, he didn't feel like there would be any market hardly for that generator.
This was his findings when he came and discussed it with us last meeting. Just as a background for you. I can get you a copy of it to have, but I have to have that one from my book.
Speaking of things working properly, do we have an air conditioner in here still? Did she turn the heat on for the meeting?
Well, now she turned it on, she said she was gonna turn it on for us.
Short and sweet.
And that camera off, that's why news anchors always sweat. Studio lights.
Put it down for you, sorry. Yeah.
What's that sound?
It'll start snowing in a minute.
It's just dust out of the ductwork. You saw this?
Yeah, I read it.
So I guess the next question is the electrical contractor that just installed that, have we reached out to him or is he still in business?
Drives around all, huh?
I mean, is that someplace we want to look? There's,
That's one thing we were kind of
We're waiting to hear from our city
attorney.
attorney,
Okay.
well, how we should go.
So we don't have to have an answer on this today.
No,
No,
we can certainly.
no, it's just the update of
Okay.
what he found out from the last meeting.
All right.
That's where we're at
And
on
I
that.
think we pursue a couple other things and table this till the next meeting. See if we can find a couple more things out.
Yeah, but that was kind of our first thought, was that if this is a bonded electrician, there shouldn't be
Exactly.
any issue. His bonding should pay for that.
Exactly.
But after talking to the other electrician, we suspect that that may be fake bonding. He may not be bonded. We don't know that, that's why we're kind of waiting to hear back from our city attorney.
Do you want
You know,
to
we gotta make a decision on this.
pursue the, like, electrical work around here?
I have no problem with that. Did you guys
Yeah, I've
both
seen
have
it, I don't
a?
have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with it.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
You need this back.
To approve the electrical work around the office. And to take no action on the lift station generator until we hear from our city attorney.
Randy, you second?
I second.
Okay. Make sure.
Yes.
Alright, Bracken,
Yes.
Galindo,
Yes.
Rudd.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Alright, line item number 9, discussion and action on REAP grant PO and payment request.
This is the last one. This will zero out the REAP
Alright.
grant.
Just one payment.
That'll be request number 3. The first one was for all the meters and the
Oh, yeah.
casings, and then the second one was for the software and stuff, and then this one is to finish out handheld and something else, I think. So that will finish out what we were awarded for the grant.
I guess officially the board needs to approve the acceptance of that.
Yeah, you have to approve the PO for the invoice of it, and then approve the request to Oviedo for reimbursement.
So that's what we were awarded for our meter project.
Here, I can't get you a better chair.
Fine.
And this is the last payment?
Thank you, Mr.
Is that, what is that?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
last.
4,231.
That's the actual.
This system's already put in service, right? Or-
No, it's where we're putting
We're gonna
it.
start. It's what it did.
Yeah, the office and stuff has been installed, and then that's what Stuart was talking about, our contractors gonna come do all the meter installs.
Training.
And all of this is a supervised, not supervised, but I guess for the grant, they have to come out and take pictures of it in progress, and it's
We're
well
physical.
Before and
documented.
after.
That's what they
as the
call
process is going.
physical audit this year, physical audited grant.
Okay.
And,
Training, have you received, Stuart, the training you need to operate that unit? All the training you need?
No, not yet.
and then once they install, a guy was here with
All I get to do is
Dawn.
look at it when I go to the office once in a while.
I was like,
I haven't even touched
Apparently it's a
the
JT
software
training.
guy came out and worked with our billing software producer and got all that compatible, and that worked out and everything. So Dawn has gotten some stuff, but once everything's installed, then they'll come back and make sure all
Okay.
mesh doesn't work for them, so we got the right readings.
Yeah, because until it's all installed and online, I really
Yeah, they can't do too
can't
much.
do anything, actually. But it'll be hands-on training once
Okay.
everything's set up and running.
I make a motion to approve the reprint PO and payment request.
I'll second.
Bracken,
Yes.
Belinda,
Yes.
Rhodes,
Yes.
motion carried.
Alright, line item 10, discussion and action to approve the resolution to execute the agreement establishing the Oklahoma Municipal Assurance Group, or OMAG, for 2019 and 2020. Cindy will tell you what that means. I think it just means we get to use the same insurance company that
Yes. It does. We just have to pass a resolution to stay with OMAG, which is the Oklahoma Municipal Assurance Group. And they put on trainings for us and different things like that throughout the year. They and OML, the Oklahoma Municipal League, are like sister partners. They partner up on
Okay.
a lot of their stuff, so. If you'd like me to read the resolution, I can.
Do you
It's a
need
lot of
to read the
whereases.
resolution?
No, it's just basically stating that the agreement establishes the Oklahoma Municipal Assurance Group provides a basis for securing this protection for member municipalities. Therefore, the town of Freedom is a member of the OMAG group, so we are insured. If you want to be a part of the group, this is basically saying we want to be a part of that group.
And OMAG and the Oklahoma Municipal League, but especially OMAG, are the ones that work with a lot of the legislation and the laws and everything regarding municipalities, and they're the ones when you have legal issues or issues with standard operating procedures or what other towns do or whatever, they're a pretty good resource. Can we do reorganization at any other time?
Yes, but it just has to be done. There's a new member joining your little group.
You had a chance.
I joked.
Amber, what would it be?
I just need a motion for.
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Why do I have to say yes?
Just a second. Bracken?
They're the ones that said it. But yes.
You can't abstain. You have
You
to.
have the floor.
Yes.
Belinda?
Affirmative.
Yes.
Thank you.
This is certainly city clerk night. Line item 11. Discussion and action on 2019-2020 temporary appropriations.
Shelley always gets us this together. She's the county clerk. And the excise board will meet June 19th to approve or disapprove our application for temporary appropriations. This is so we can operate on a portion of what we will actually be given and budgeted for, but budgets aren't due and given out until actually October. So for the first 4 or 5 months, we operate on a temporary appropriations list.
Okay.
So that's what this is, that's approving, and she has always gone off of 90% of last year's budget, and so that's what we temporarily have for the first 4 or 5 months to operate
Okay.
off of, so. Everybody has to sign that
Thank
one,
you.
sorry. That's on everybody's signature. Because then in June, our accountant sends us a audit packet that I get together and send him, and then he goes through this last year's POs and meetings and everything and make sure everything was done properly, and then gives us an estimated budget, because we operate on the estimate of needs budget, kind of like the school does, operates on the estimate of needs. And then in October, you will approve or disapprove and sign off on the actual budget that is then sent to the state
Okay.
excise board. So if I can get a motion for the appropriations.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Bracken,
Yes.
Galindo,
Yes.
Rhodes.
Yes.
Motion carried, thank you.
Moving swiftly along to line item number 12. Discussion action on destruction of POs from 1988 to 1989, 2002, 2005 through 2006, 2011 through 2012. Fire meeting sign-in sheets from 1988 to 1989, OMAG insurance coverage from 1993 to 94, 2000 workers' comp insurance, bad checks from 2002 and 2005 meter readings, deposit books from 2011 and 12, and other miscellaneous paperwork according to retention policy timelines. You are certainly welcome to review our retention policy timelines. We have, as you can see by the fire meeting sign-in sheets from 88 and 89, for a long time we have retained a lot of documents that we probably don't need to. So we, I guess to match up kind of with what other municipalities do and to keep the ceiling from caving in, we went and whatever that ordinance was, several months ago we enacted to have a meter retention policy added to our codification, added to our
Code of
book.
ordinances, our code book.
Our ordinances. Thank you, Cindy, that's question of the clerk.
On here.
Has everybody had a chance to review these documents slated for destruction?
They're in a box back there if anybody would like to get through. I suggest gloves because they've been sprayed for bugs.
That's the one that says destroy on certain dates.
Yes.
I just looked at the boxes.
Yes, as I'm going through and putting them in destruction dates, and that way whenever we do have to take whatever we have to take back up there, it can be in a chronological type of order. That way we can destroy when we need to.
There you go.
Are these boxes listed with the contents labeled on the outside or not?
No, but the folders are still in them.
Okay.
So I haven't.
Do you mean in our entire archives or just on the ones for
Well,
destruction?
just the ones on here, because the one thing I see that kind of sets us up says other miscellaneous paperwork. We don't know what that pertains to.
That is
Work orders.
work order, the handbook of like an old water meter. And I mean, equipment that we no longer have had or anything like that. It's just paperwork that wasn't even on the retention log that we don't even have to keep.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, I went through it, and if it wasn't on the retention log whatsoever, then I didn't keep it for whatever purposes necessary. Basically, it's anything that's not on our retention log.
So no EPA super site.
No, anything EPA is a permanent record, and it will go with Stuart once they get it all separated out. I have a pile for Stuart back there.
And there's some things you have to keep for lifetime.
Forever,
That's
yeah.
A lot of real gas, you gotta keep everything for the gas line for the life
coli testing we do each month is very much a permanent record. So I'll have a few boxes, and we're gonna switch whatever is permanent into plastic tubs so that it's not in another paper box in case anything should happen. Water damage anyways.
Spiders.
Spiders. Things like that.
Can we approve destruction of the items listed in line 12, pending inspection by one or all the board? That works, and you can take
Yeah,
a quick
I
glance
think
to
so.
make sure we're not throwing away a good.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Cindy
Go
will write
ahead,
all
Miss.
that down.
Word for word.
Bracken.
Yes.
Galindo.
Yes.
Rhodes.
Yes.
Do we want to go to department reports and then go back to 13
That's fine.
so that we don't inconvenience our staff and the press by having it set outside and for no reason? Line item 14, department reports. Stewart, maintenance department, what do you have to report?
Not much. I went to the workshop for floodplain administrators, and I didn't even know it existed until we kept getting emails from these people. I guess we're a part of or I can't say it. They got so many abbreviations. But anyway, I'll just summarize what the workshop was about. It was the role of a floodplain administrator. You know, like the primary things is review permits, if you issue permits for a building or changing anything to do with the water courses, collecting fees, coordinate with the other programs like the EPA, DEQ, state, and FEMA. Keep records and maintain update flood data and maps. Now that kind of threw me for a loop because I didn't know we had maps for our floodplains and stuff. Now this is an example of what they probably should look like. Where the light green or the light shaded area is pretty much the floodplain, and this is the water course, you know, or the river or whatever you got going here. But anyway, and to update ordinances, the only ordinance I don't think we'll find was ordinance 92, which was implemented in 1986. And so, unless you guys know where the ordinances are for this, she was able to pull this up on the computer. I don't know if there's files of any ordinances that has to do with
If I find
construction.
anything, it'll be in your pile.
And I didn't know this either, but anybody who is the administrator also assesses post events, you know, major flood damage after that, and you assess the damage and report it to FEMA. So FEMA can figure out what monies to distribute where. FEMA's not, I didn't know this either, FEMA doesn't pay for flood damage. All they do is, in an emergency, they'll help people, put them in motels, whatever, and do food and stuff like that. But the whole thing about this whole thing is people who who live in floodplains in or out of it should have flood insurance. And most homes that are mortgaged, whether you're in or out of a floodplain, make you carry your flood insurance. I mean, they attach it to your bill. And the only, of course, I'll end up nominating Don Wares as flood administrator because I got quite a few hats on as it is. But it's kind of fascinating in a way. And the only reason that it really interests me is because of our drainage problems. And I thought it would be just as simple as cutting a new ditch, which already exists, but clear it out so that it goes into the river where, you know, we've had some pretty good rainfalls lately. And these ditches along the old highway to the old bridge have been to their tops a couple of times this year already, and which I've never seen that before. But not only that, is it doesn't drain off, so now we've got standing water in these ditches along here, which is breeding mosquitoes. But it's not as simple as just going in there and clearing out the ditch from the dump to the river, because where they're talking about, that's kind of a big no-no, because you're changing the natural course of the, even though it's already there, it's already been, just clearing it out is a big pain in the butt. So I kind of like, it's fascinating. I kind of like to learn a little more about it and try to get a, they said that we'll probably be able to get a FEMA map of our area here and get the base flood elevations off of it. Now that over there, OWRE,
Water.
yeah. They have their maps too, but because not like our county, we're a participant, and maybe Al was a participant in the federal emergency funds for insurance purposes, but the whole county's not, where a lot of Oklahoma, the whole counties in Oklahoma are part of the deal because, well, closer you get to the rivers and stuff downstream, it's only right that you have to do that. But I'll try to pull up the FEMA map, because I think that would be about the best one, and just go from there. But basically what it is any time you're doing any construction, whether it's farming or you're building a new house or buildings, anything that you do close to the floodplain that alters the natural course of the water flow, which could affect your neighbor anywhere, then it's got to be addressed and approved by FEMA and ORB, I guess I'll call it ORB. But it is kind of fascinating. And I didn't like this part of it. They told me that I look on these elevation maps and determine whether or not, say you're going to build a house, and then you'd want to look at this map. Now you'd be looking at this map because you probably don't want to pay flood insurance, right? So if you're going to build it in a spot and you're 15 feet over, say this, you're 15 feet over into the floodplain, just 15 feet, I would try to talk you into moving it 20 feet out of the floodplain. But the problem is that, and this was a big discussion there, it got liability. Say and I can do that, I can tell you, well, you probably should move your construction so far, and then you would be out the floodplain. Well, they could come up with an answer to where, say that it really flooded, say a 100-year flood, what they call it, and it goes into this property, and this person didn't get flood insurance because, you know, I told him that he should move it this far out of the floodplain. Well, they couldn't answer the question if the liability is going to come back on me, you know. So that kind of stuff was kind of, maybe I misunderstood the way it's put it, but it's started a big discussion of a lot of people that were there. And I just didn't get a satisfactory answer for it. So, but that's what that is. I guess we have to attend these seminars or these workshops to stay in the clan or the group or whatever it is, you know, in the system. I guess we are in the system because they wouldn't be sending this
Right.
up. So I guess we have to make more of an attempt to go to these workshops and the seminars that they have and learn how to do this
It's
stuff.
6 hours, which is one workshop a year.
Yeah.
And they usually have them in Woodward. Is it Kathy Pogue?
Yep.
No, Kathy Pogue from the Tech
I
Center.
got my certificate of completion in the office. Where we just sat there. Dime will give me a cup of coffee somewhere. And just one other thing, in the park, the 8x8 blocks that hold up the memorial benches around the park, you know, you got the benches all around the park, but the 8x8 posts that are in the ground, about 60% of them are rotten at the base. Now, I noticed that they encased them in concrete, which probably sped up the rotting process on them timbers. So is that our responsibility or is that the Cowboy Association's deal?
I think it's kind of, I mean,
On which
on all
ones?
the benches that kind of form the
That
barrier around
Yeah.
the
Yeah, the
whole
outside
park.
of the whole park.
So they all have the nameplates on the people that have been like
Yeah. people
honored and
bought little
yeah.
old cowhands and ranchers and stuff like that. Now, I replaced one, but that was back when Waldo was helping me out here. And, but I noticed that if you bump one with the mower and stuff, you can see it's about to snap off right at the ground. So, I don't know if I don't think they're dangerous. I don't think many people even sit on them anymore, but they are gonna start breaking off. I mean, so that's why I was wondering if that was our responsibility to maintain them benches, or is that the Cowboy Association?
That's not in our part of the park,
Oh, it's
Well,
not.
it surrounds the whole park.
but not
Yeah,
back
it's
in
the
our,
border big.
it's the border on the front, I think.
Should
I think we should probably I think Vanessa was the one that came the last time when she was talking to us about some stuff. I would kind of maybe let her know so that maybe their organization could talk about it and see what they, I mean, if they want to come to us and like work together, that would be a possibility, but we probably need to let them know.
Well, when Walter was here, we sprayed them with a lacquer finish, and they need to be done again, but I don't want to waste the lacquer on them if they're gonna be replaced, you know, so that,
It will be a while before they're replaced.
that's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
But there's a few that are, you sit on it too hard, it's gonna break on you. It's gonna put you on the rear end.
I don't know if those are original to the park.
Yeah,
No.
not those cedar ones. Used to be what, old white ones just going around. I remember
So
that.
talk to Vanessa and see what they might want to
They
do.
were put in 77.
These? No. I haven't been.
Because I mean, it's got newer honorees on there.
Who or what?
Honorees. I mean, like each bench has a plaque on it that has like someone that they're honoring or donated by or
In memory
in
of.
memory of.
Yeah, I guess that'd be a question for the
Auxiliary.
Cimarron Cowboys
Oh, it's the
Association.
Cowboys or the Ladies Auxiliary, but Vanessa was the one that came to us the last time we did anything with a lot of that stuff, so I would probably go back to her and she could probably tell you which way to go or who to contact if it's not. Because I know they're together but they're separate. Because there's the Cowboys and then there's the Ladies, so.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Well, it's just a matter of time when the kids realize how loose they are and start kicking them on. They do. They're little guys. They just-
Quick history on the park. Originally, the Legion set over across the street from where it is now, and it has always been, I guess, Legion Park. The Legion really owns the tennis courts, the basketball courts, the bathrooms, everything over until you get to the Cowboys Monument area over there, and then that's owned by the Cowboys the Cimarron Cowboys Association, and they have all that monument. And what we actually have is back that grassy patch to the east of there, and where the water tower is, and down to kind of where the house is. So, but the town has been the one to always maintain the equipment and mow it and water it and weed it and kind of take care of everything. I guess the Cimarron Cowboys Association is the one that put in the benches, and they have plaques on them where families donated, you know, to have a bench put in and an honorary person put on there. So we're pretty conscientious to try to keep that in as good a shape as we can. We went through and pressure washed them 2 years ago and resealed them.
Well, Miranda was still there.
Yeah, it was like 2 or 3 years ago, yeah.
And yeah, we'd like to have a comprehensive plan and redo the whole park, but obviously there's issues with one, the state being broken, but there being 3 different entities that have a part in the park. Not to mention Freedom West, who put in a planning a deal on the corner that we take care of. So anyway, that's what's going on with that. So everything you go to do is pretty interconnected with that. I guess just fix them up as best as you can. If there's something that's dangerous,
Yeah,
seal
well,
them off or
they
something.
made by 8 posts are not cheap. And you gotta get either pressure treated ones or cedar. And pressure treated ones shrink, and the cedar are extremely expensive. So,
Let's start with Vanessa and see where she
Yeah.
wants to do. Because they may have something else that they even want to do.
They may
Because at
have
one
a
point in
pasture
time,
full of cedar posts.
yeah, and because at one point in time, that concrete slab that's over in that
You
front
see, you can go anywhere. you
north
see her now.
west corner,
yeah.
they were wanting to put a pavilion thing over
Yeah.
that, and they
Yeah.
hadn't
Plus
yet.
it's
So,
Right, right.
Have
so
connection.
I would
Oh,
go to
I
her
used to
first
too,
and
though.
see.
Actually, I had cleared out all the places.
And the only other thing I got here is OMAG was here a month ago, I guess it was, and the gas utility, natural gas system assessment is here. They, you know, OMAG, they're always trying to, trying to help us find ways to save money and be safe and stuff. So if anybody wants to look at this material, it's in this folder here. You'll see what on this sheet here is where they actually tells you, I'd have to read through it again, but either the low or high number. The high number is good and the low number is not so good. So, or I might have it mixed up. I'd have to read it through it again. It's been a month since they were here. And they go over stuff so fast because they got a lot of places to go. But it's in this folder if anybody wants to look at it. It'll be either here or on my desk or over there. I can put it over there too. And that's all I got.
All right. Thank you very much, Stuart. Appreciate it. Office manager's report. Do we have anything?
No, I know she sent some please mow your yard letters, and I've noticed them mowed, so that's really good. So, but I haven't, she hasn't mentioned anything about non-payments or anything like that. When she went with me to the training, she learned a lot of how to be a lot more aggressive with some of the ones that don't want to pay.
That's good.
It was so funny because the lady that talked about it was like the least assertive person there. But
She was so nice.
she was so nice. Kill him with kindness.
That's what my mom used to say.
Well, that concludes the office manager's report, I suppose. How about the town clerk / treasurer?
You're all right.
Here are the balance of the funds after all the POs are paid out tonight. The top half, that's stuff that will be taken off whenever he does some of his annual stuff. And then this is the MTA one for the trust authority. And like I say, we'll be doing an audit. We'll get the audit packet from Bill probably next month. And that's, will get us started for the next year. I took care of all of the inactive accounts and put all of that in the savings, the general savings, which when we make the deposit, it was noted as to what the deposit was for, so we know.
Because everything those were for is still earmarked.
Yes. So.
Does anybody need anything from me anymore?
No, I don't have
I
anything.
don't think so. Whenever you do get some of them individuals like Old Mag or anything, if they are scheduling a visit or something, just let me know, or somebody, and I'd like to come in too and be a part of that.
Sometimes they just show up. But
Yeah, that's,
most likely, they always just show up, but so far, in my experience with them, but they're pretty nice folks, and they really do try to, I guess, try to keep our premiums down, you know, best way they can. Yeah, I'll give you a call. You're gonna have your number up here, I imagine.
Yeah, I think Dawn's got a switching of the guards notice
Okay.
ready to go.
Well, if you don't need anything, I'm out of here.
thank you, Stuart.
Thank you. We'll see you.
Thanks.
Not all you have.
That's all I have because there hasn't been anything
Okay.
going on.
Thank you, clerk / treasurer. Includes department reports going back to line item 13. Executive session pursuant to Oklahoma State Statute 307, 8.1 of Title 25 to discuss with the town Freedom employees the scope work for the remainder of year 18 and 19 and next year 19 through 20. Which is basically going through scope of work for the remainder of this year and into next year. And we will now go into executive session.
Make a motion.
Second.
At what time?
7:14.